Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting Ask an Engineer show. We're broadcasting live from downtown Manhattan in the secret Adafruit headquarters. I'm Lady Ada, the engineer. With me is AdaBot.
Hello.
I'm camera control and
Yeah.
doing all this stuff behind the scenes.
That's right.
We got an exciting show tonight with all sorts of cool stuff. News, demos, tutorials, projects, questions, banners. Tell them what's on tonight's show, AdaBot.
All right, on tonight's show, we're going to talk about the show and tell we just did. The Open Source Hardware Summit is approaching rapidly. We'll talk about that and more. Heathkit is back in the kit biz. Coming soon to your Radio Shack, Parallax. They're unleashing a whole bunch of open source hardware and products in the local Radio Shacks coming near you. I have an article on Make. I want Neil deGrasse Tyson to come to Maker Faire. Adafruit celebrates 100,000 orders earlier in the week. We have
Supplier Sunday.
Supplier Sunday.
Manufacturing Monday.
Okay, do you want to do this, or do you want me to do it?
You were doing it. That's all yours.
We've got Zcard Zed's Day. We've got the Jobs Board. We've got Part Finder Friday. We've got a ton of new products this week. You're going to have to get through these. Lots of interesting things. We'll show each of them. We'll have tools and parts and new products and sensors and power cables and keypads and our new LED panel we're really excited about.
And that's a tutorial Tuesday.
That's a tutorial Tuesday.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to step on your...
Yeah. Are we going to have it sound out yet? Don't ask?
Yeah, we're going to have
All right.
it sound out yet
All right.
if we
We'll
have
answer
time.
your questions, a trivia question, a cat, all that and more on Ask an Engineer.
I'm going to put some Converses on MOSFET.
Okay.
For sure. Maybe like little ones. That'd
All
be
right.
cool. Yeah, we have to get through a lot of stuff in this show because next show
Yeah.
is a special show.
Next week is the 2-year anniversary of Ask an Engineer.
2 years.
2 years we've been doing this, and we'll have Amanda Wozniak. We may have Alicia from the Open Source Hardware Summit, and we're going to ask our friend Becky if she wants to stop by. So
Yeah.
it'll be a fun night. So
That's Lady Alicia, Lady Becky, Lady Woz, and Lady Ada.
Yeah.
All in one.
Yeah.
And then, man-filled.
Yeah, I'm going to hide behind the camera, so I don't have to do anything in front of the camera next week. But we have 2 years worth of shows, and we made it. We luckily...
Are we going to show the bloopers reels?
There's no bloopers reel. But what's interesting is, luckily we've done a good job of cataloging all the shows. We have George, who does a great job recording them. And as previous folks may remember, someone tried to take the Ask an Engineer name from us. They said they had a patent on the name, which is a silly thing because you don't patent names. But we had our lawyer, because we have to have a lawyer because we're a business, who our lawyer loves open source hardware. He bought a Chumby from Woot because he reads our blog, so this is great. So anyways.
He's like chubby hacking lawyer.
Yeah, that's kind of how we pick staff now. Do you read our blog? Okay, great. He was able to take care of that. So we're happy that we've made it 2 years. We're going to continue to do Ask an Engineer. So it'll be next week.
Yeah,
Good
and we
show.
can continue to call it Ask an Engineer too, which is great.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Next up, we just had the show and tell.
Yes.
And the show and tell had some really cool stuff.
There's a lot of thermins.
Yeah, it was. People are hacking the Arduinos to turn them into MIDI devices, which is super cool. So we had like 3 theremin projects.
I would like the cat feeder combined with a theremin, so as the cat gets close to it, it makes a sound meow.
That'll scare the cat too much. Yeah, there was a cat feeder project. There was a really cool video wall that was really neat.
There was
this
an LED
FTI
piece.
BitBang thing. And then there was John Engineer's steam engine thing.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. So anyways, that'll be up on the site
Oh,
later
and
in
then
the week.
Caleb Craft's
Church
Punk.
Yeah, Caleb Crafts has this really neat idea to use stained glass for enclosures. I can't wait to see that because it's.
Yeah.
There was a Philip K. Dick novel. I think it was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, where they have this church, this chapel idea in it. When I read it, I was thinking of this like glowing church type thing. Maybe I'm thinking of
Stranger in a Strange Land?
I don't know. They're all kind of.
Because there was a church in that for sure, wasn't there?
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, all right. Next up.
All right.
We need to go over the code. So, in celebration of 100,000 orders on Adafruit, the code this week is 100K, just like that odometer. So on checkout.
Is that 100K?
Yeah, on
100,000.
Yeah, on checkout, put 100K, and you'll get 10% off many of the kits. Not everything, but most of the stuff that we make. All right. Next up, the Open Source Hardware Summit is approaching. We have a banner on our site. We don't take advertising, but we do run a banner each year for the Open Source Hardware Summit to help them out. Tickets are on sale, and if you can't make it, sponsor. Here's some of the awesome sponsors. So we did an enthusiast level sponsor, and you can see some of all the open source hardware companies are really rallying. You got Seed, Parallax, Evil Scientists, SparkFun, Adafruit, Dangerous Prototypes, Rich Electronics, Element 14, ThinkSmake. This is really cool list. If you are an individual or if you're a company, try to sponsor it out. They need your help.
Yeah. Or attend, which is also helpful.
All right. Next up, Heathkit. Do you want to talk a little bit about Heathkit? Why a startup?
Yeah, why don't you start? I can talk about. Here's the thing, actually. I missed out on the Heathkit kits because I'm not old enough. But some people who are like maybe 5 years older than me will probably remember building Heathkit kits. And Heathkit kits were kind of like all the like 50s to the 80s, I think. 50s to the early 80s is when they had their core time, and they did tools and kits and stuff. And you build your own TV and your own oscilloscope and your radio. And they had like a VFD alarm clock that was really popular. And then like they kind of just like went out of business, died. I actually don't know the full story of it, but they basically just kind of dropped off the face of the earth in the mid 80s or so. And someone emailed you and said, "Hey, did you see that on the Heathkit website?" I guess somebody went there. They're coming back to life. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they were sold to somebody or somebody bought the rights or somebody got the name or whatever. But there's going to be Heathkit kits.
Yeah, I have a little information about this. So the Heathkit manuals were bought by a fellow named Don, I think, and I'm in contact with him, and he may release some of the manual, some of the schematics out there. Heathkit as a company kind of went away, but now I guess because kits are so popular, and they were probably tired of hearing people say, "Hey, I know Heathkit. Like, why aren't you making kits again?" Looks like they're going to make kits. So here is their press release. Just real quick, I'll read some of it. They're saying Heathkit is back in the kit business. In late August, Heathkit will debut their new line of do-it-yourself kits for common around-the-house items. So the first one is a garage parking assistant, and then the next one is a LED. Oh no, I'm sorry, a wireless swimming pool monitor kit. I don't get these. I don't understand these quite yet, but I'm thrilled to see that they're making them.
Yeah.
These are like the kits that you see in the back of popular mechanics, like.
Do you think they're gonna have a blinking Christmas tree?
No, I don't think so.
You think they're gonna skip
that? These are very like you have a garage and you want to make sure your car doesn't bang into something, and then this one
is a good kit though because you may not even need a microcontroller.
Yeah.
To do it right. You can do it all in analog.
Yeah. So this is definitely for like not like it's not the traditional market that we're used to, which is like students and like kind of urban environments. This is like. You have a house and you want to do something like this. So anyways, I'm not sure what these are going to be, and I don't quite understand them yet, but I'm thrilled to see them.
Okay.
At least the announcement.
I'm down. I'm down for that. I'll check these things out.
Yeah, we don't have a garage or a pool. We don't know it.
I know. It's not that useful for us.
We don't have more than
a
few hundred feet here.
Okay.
Okay, next up. Big news.
This is Parallax.
Yeah, Parallax is this is packaging from Parallax. They are putting in a ton of stuff into Radio Shack. So for all the folks who've watched Radio Shack recently talking about wanting to get back in the DIY world, kind of fascinating. Heathkit.
Yeah, and Radio Shack.
This DIY market's pretty good. They're putting a ton of their products in Radio Shack. They had some before, but now this is like some of their top sellers. So
I will say that the stuff that they had before, and it's not a judgment call, but it wasn't very useful. Like there was the microcontroller kit, but then there were like these random components, and they were really expensive, which is not their fault. There's parts were just expensive, but it was not like it wasn't the stuff that everybody wanted. So I think that it wasn't like once in a while you're like, okay, yeah, I need like a single axis accelerometer that's $40, but it wasn't clear how to use it. But now there's so much more information about how to use the stuff that I think it makes sense for them to like re-approach it and re-push out these parts. So I think it's pretty smart.
What's good for us is we don't have a retail location, so there are people who have like, oh my gosh, it's Sunday night at midnight.
I need an XB.
I need an XB. Now, Radio Shacks aren't open 24 hours, but at least they'd have an option like, on a weekend or someplace that's convenient.
Immediately.
Like same day. It's really hard to get same day XB somewhere, but now they might be able to.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
All right, cool.
That's it. It's exciting. And a big milestone for open source hardware. Some of their products are open source hardware, and it's indicated on the packaging.
Yeah, they use the new open source
hardware
logo.
Yeah. All right. Next up, I have an article on Make. If you're on Twitter, go check out this article. It's about Neil deGrasse Tyson, awesome science educator. He's
at the Hayden. Which is,
no,
that's uptown.
Uptown,
Sorry.
yeah, which is almost like upstate. If
Uptown is actually that way,
anything
right?
past 14th Street is just miles away. Isn't it?
Like no, it's the six. It's when we went above 60th, you got the
I got a
the
nosebleed.
Foursquare.
No,
Yeah. You got the Foursquare badge. It was like congratulations, you like went above 59.
Yeah, you finally crossed above. So anyway, New York humor. So I'm trying to get him to be part of Maker Faire, and I did this by just making an open letter and showing how many people would love to have him there. And I'm a fan. I put all the videos, the recent videos of his that he's had online, and hopefully I made a compelling case. So I've emailed him as well. He actually lives like probably a few blocks from us.
He lives
like right around, around.
We've seen him walking around.
I've seen him twice, or actually more than that. Walking by us in City Hall Park and at the gym not too far from here. But I didn't want to talk to him because we're both working out and it was kind of weird. And I don't want to
You don't want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy that's like, hey, I really have this idea about string theory. Like maybe you could stop on the elliptical and we could talk. I don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy.
Okay.
I was very tempted though.
I think you're like that guy now.
Yeah. No, but I never did it in person.
That's true.
Anyways. Okay. So read that article. Next
Okay.
up, Adafruit celebrates 100,000 orders.
Yeah. Well, we were because we were watching the numbers, and we're like, wow, sometime this summer we're going to hit 100,000 orders.
Yeah. So we
It's
hit
not exactly 100,000, but it's like the number 100,000.
Well, we hit
refunds, returns, and all that stuff.
There is a customer with order number 100,000, and what's interesting is I've emailed this person twice saying you're our winner of something. We have something special for you. Email back. They won't email back. And so this person, I'm going to try to see if I can contact them in any way, but they ordered a Minty Boost. And I just keep emailing, and I'm like, hey, our
give
order.
me something cool.
Yeah, I was going to give them, a lot of stuff, so it's kind of funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, next up. Let's go to Supplier Sunday. So you want to talk about...
Yeah, this is like Software Sunday, but this one is Supplier Sunday.
All right.
Because I want to talk about some of the suppliers that we use. And this one is about packaging and shipping, because if you sell stuff like we do, you have to get the goods from here to wherever, and packaging and shipping is one of those things that nobody really talks about, but it is an essential part of the process. And here in New York, we don't have a lot of space. So what we wanted in a supplier of packaging and shipping goods is we can get it really fast by UPS, ships from nearby, and is pretty good. It has a wide variety of stuff. And what we really like is Uline. Uline is sort of the McMaster car of shipping supplies. They have warehouses all over the U.S. and you can get custom shipping supplies done as well from smaller firms. But we need someplace where we can sort of order something fast and it shows up the next day, and they have everything you'd ever need for office and shipping supplies. So we have a few links to some of the things that we really like the padded mailers and the boxes and the poly bags and the thermal labels we use. But really, it's just a hell of a lot of fun to just browse their site, find everything you could really ever need for warehousing.
Yeah.
And then another thing that we wanted to discuss is the insinuation that they are partially owned by Hall Notes.
Yeah, so not a lot of people know this, but when you buy stuff on Uline, you can get gifts.
Yeah.
And we started noticing, there's a lot of Hall Notes stuff.
It's a lot. And some of it doesn't make a lot of sense, like palette notes that say live from Daryl's house. I mean, what does that mean? Why would a musician have a palette of 3M sticky notes? There was some confusion, and then we found a post online of somebody that said that it was owned by the same company. Or
someone said that Hall Notes owned Uline, and I'm like, wait, this is crazy.
And then you called Uline.
That's right.
Because you wanted to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, I put on my journalist hat, and I used a telephone, and I called up and I said, hi, just curious because we have these Hall Notes CDs and
Hall Notes, T-shirts,
Hall Notes, everything.
Christmas albums,
Hall Note bags. We got it all.
Have it all.
And I said, are you owned by Hall Notes? And they said, no. And I said, okay. What's the deal with Hall Notes? What's going on? And they said, no, the CEO is just a really big fan.
And a really big fan.
Really big fan. And there's a page.
And then there was an uncomfortable silence.
Yeah. And I said, okay, do you guys have to listen to Hall Notes all the time? They're like, no, it's not like that at all.
I bet this whole music is Hall Notes.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're really big fans, and there's a page devoted to Hall Notes on Uline. This is cool. If you own a company, you get to do weird stuff like this. Like, hey,
I can't wait till our site is like all like get 9 Inch Nails CDs and like skinny puppy T-shirts.
Yeah. Wow, a free Morrissey CD with every $1,000 worth of electronics. That's cool.
You do have to order a lot to get some of these freebies, and there's a lot of HoloNet stuff. So
yeah. Anyway,
just be aware. Okay.
Yeah, so we solved that mystery, and they are not owned by HoloNet. Not that we know.
But they have like nice blankets and helmets, and like the golf balls are actually really handy because our UPS delivery and pickup people play golf, and so we give them these gifts because the golf balls aren't that big; they just toss them in the box.
All right, next up, Manufacturing Monday, shelving.
Okay, so Manufacturing Monday is about storage because this is a very common question. People always ask us like, how do you store so much stuff? Because everything we have in the shop and all of our inventory is stored in under 2,000 square foot of space. That's including the workstations, the shipping station, everything is 2,000 square feet, and that's not a lot of square footage, especially since we have like 2 bathrooms. It's a Manhattan studio. But I want to talk about how we do storage. So you can also see behind me, of course, in the storage. But we use acro bins, and acro bins are just like totally awesome because, as you can see, they stack. They come in every size. We like the clear ones. When we started, we were getting them from different places. We got like random colors, and then we get these 6 foot tall shelving units, and you can adjust the shelving, and you can adjust them so they can fit like exactly the right number of bins. And this is what we use for all of our inventory. And we have like 10 of these shelves, or maybe more at this point, and we just have tons of them, and they're just packed full of these acro bins, and you label the front of the acro bin. And we have some links to acro bins, and there are a couple different knockoff versions of acro bins, but we do suggest actually getting like the genuine stuff, and don't get like the really cheap stuff that's half the price because it doesn't stack very nicely. And if you want to be able to like not have it fall over, because it'll just like fall through and it'll kind of suck. So these storage bins are really great. And then for component storage, we have a wall, and the wall is I don't know if it's visible here. Oh, it's not. You can see the edge of it. But it's a louver wall, and then you can store multiple different sizes of these little mini bins. And so all of our components, like in this image, you can see like red LEDs and trim pots and like SIM card reader holders and diodes and stuff. And we keep them all in these little bins. And then I have some links to where we get them from. We get them from Global Industrial because it's pretty fast. You can get them by like the dozen or so, and they have them in every size and color. So that's very handy, and that's how we do our big storage. We'll do more articles about other storage because there's like tons of different ways to store stuff.
All right. Next up, we updated our LCD tutorial.
Yeah, I just updated it for the RGB LCDs because some people were like, "Hey, do you have demo code?" And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we actually I don't even know if we've put a picture. Up here, and we have some demo code.
Yeah.
And there's the video, and we have a demo code showing this demo, which is just pulsing through the different colors. So
yeah, if you listen close to this video, you can hear the laser and the pick and place being operated
at the same time.
All right, and then next up, we're going to try to get through all of these things so we can go to
allergies.
Get allergies.
Cat.
Here is
Part Finder Friday.
Do we skip Part Finder Friday? Yeah, I'm going to just go back in time.
That's Zencard Zensei.
Yeah, Zencard Zensei.
Zencard Zensei is product tab. This one's really easy to explain. If you go to any of the products. We have just click on that one.
So here's how you do it.
Yeah, let's just show you the tabs.
Yeah.
But just click on like this guy.
Yeah,
here.
we did this because there's so much information on our.
Sorry. Go to.
What would you like?
Just go to a product. I don't know. Go to our website. There you go. Oh wait, no, that one doesn't have multiple tabs. Go to scroll down. Scroll. This guy, I think. Yeah. It's gonna have multiple panel. So with this guy, we have technical details, tutorials, and then we have some blog Flickr photos. But so you can tab between the description, which is a generalized description of what it is, technical details, which is like size and weight and interface and voltage and current and all that stuff, and then tutorials, which lists like tutorials and that we have links to, and then downloads and more stuff and distributors and all that good stuff. So we have multiple tabs, and this is just our system for doing tabs.
Yep.
Very simple and very beneficial. So if you have a web shop, we suggest adding tabs.
Yeah, it's worked out for us. All right, next up, we've got a skills offer on the job site. So on the Adafruit job site, people not only post their jobs, and that's been working out really good, but people are posting their skill sets. So someone at EasyBotics says they are a longtime designer and builder of most anything. Their specialties include PCB design, prototyping, circuit design, embedded firmware, Metal machining is all the time. References upon request. This is what we get asked all the time. People want us to design stuff for them. We don't do consulting, so this is fantastic. Now we can point them towards this and say, hey, there's someone out there who wants to do this.
Yeah. So post your skills or post your jobs.
Yeah.
And it's a little slow in the summer because everyone's on vacation, but we
still get great stuff.
There's still stuff coming in all the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, let's see.
Oh, this is Part Finder Friday.
This
one's really simple. This is just coin cells. We use coin cells for a lot of small projects. Like we're doing a lot with the cufflinks, and we have these little coin cells. And so we have just links to where we suggest getting coin cells from. Mouse and DigiKey are both good places. And these are the 3-volt lithiums, and they come bigger and smaller, but these are just, we think, the most popular sizes. So using these, you're really likely to be able to get replacements at any grocery store, although it's going to be a little expensive. They're like $3 from Radio Shack, but if you go to Mouse or DigiKey, they're like 50 cents. So, yeah, I know it's handy. Coin cells. We'll have an article about coin cells, because we learned a lot doing the cufflinks about coin cells. There's more than meets the eye.
Okay, and then let's see, next up.
Okay, great. So
it's product time. We just added the Arduino Ethernet into the store.
Yeah, I can show this on the overhead.
And
so I can talk
about what the Arduino Ethernet is.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'll show this because it's a new thing, and it's a little weird. So the Arduino Ethernet, I call it the Arduino Uno Ethernet because it's basically an Uno. It's the same size as an Uno, but it has the WizNet chip on here. It has a, I think this is a buck converter. I think it's maybe a 3-volt buck converter. I actually don't know. I have to look at the schematics. So it's a 5 and 3-volt regulator, but it's only one linear, and then the rest is buck, probably to make it, because it works with PoE. It's PoE compatible, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. There's a micro SD slot, which is handy for data logging or serving files or whatever. There's an Ethernet jack with LEDs. They moved the reset button to this kind of handy spot so you can get to it. You can put shields on top of it, just being aware that it uses pin 4 and pin 10 through 13. And the one thing to watch out for is that if you want to program it, it doesn't have USB. And some people on the developer list are working on a TFT bootloader, but until that's done, it's designed to be used with an FTDI cable or FTDI friend, such as we have in the shop. And you only need one of them, and you plug it into here, and you can't really see, but it says black and green, which are the colors. And then this little part also comes out, which means you can, well, I'm not going to pull it out right now because I don't have good leverage. But yeah, so basically it's an Uno with Ethernet cooked in. So this is actually the microcontroller pin, chip right here, and that's the Ethernet chip. And then there's a crystal, and then Ethernet power and everything. So yeah, that's basically what it is, and it's much smaller and less expensive than getting a shield and an Arduino. Another thing that's really nice about it is that you don't have, one of the things about the shield that's a little annoying is that it's hard to stack stuff on top of it. This one is also not perfectly ideal for stacking because the Ethernet jack is a little bit taller than a USB jack, and so for some shields this might be an issue, in which case we suggest using stacky headers to just lift up the shield, although we have to experiment some more. We really just got these in. We haven't had a lot of time. We just basically tested them and we're like, great. And we suggested for the next version that they use taller headers, but it might be difficult to get those, and that's why these don't have taller headers. But we'll see.
A couple quick questions. Can a beginner use this if they already have an Uno?
Yeah, sure. It basically acts just like an Uno. You upload it just like an Uno, but again, you need to have an FTDI cable.
Okay. And what software do you need to program this?
You use the Arduino IDE.
Okay. All right.
All right.
There's more questions about this. Do you have any tutorials for using the Uno Ethernet?
We don't have a direct tutorial because we're adapting an old tutorial we wrote for the Ethernet shield for this guy. But really, any tutorial with the Ethernet shield will work just with this. It's same pin out, same everything. Just smushed together. Smush cake.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of, we got another product. So if you're going to do Ethernet stuff with an Arduino, maybe you want to power it.
Yeah, this is a kind of handy thing. These are used often for security cameras, actually.
Yeah.
But let me see.
So these are the passive power over Ethernet
Yeah.
injector cable sets.
You gonna show that or?
No, show this.
Okay. So what this is it's a set. It's kind of interesting and it's kind of brilliant. And like I said, they use this for security cameras in general, internet security cameras. So the problem is that, okay, you've got your Ethernet Arduino or your Arduino with the Ethernet cable, and so you want to have internet and you want to have power. But then you have to, Ethernet cables can be very long. They can be like 50 meters long to, from your router. But then you also have to power it, and so like it's kind of annoying because then like you have two cables, and a lot of people wanted to have power over Ethernet. And really quickly, power over Ethernet is a extension of Ethernet, where the device like this, Arduino, would talk to the router and negotiate and say, hey, I have a power over Ethernet module built in, and I want you to supply 48 volts on these unused pins, these 4 unused pins for 10100 Ethernet, and the router can turn that on and then supply power 48 volts DC. And the reason it's 48 volts is because, again, the Ethernet string can be really long, so accounting for the voltage drop, they wanted it to have plenty of voltage so that at the other side, you don't have a lot of droop because of the resistance of this huge wire. And so there's some good things about that and some bad things about that. The good thing about it is Power Ethernet is a standard, and if you have a Power Ethernet router, it's good to have devices with Power Ethernet modules. The bad thing about it is that all this adds a lot of expense because you have to have a module. I should have brought one, but maybe later I'll grab it. There's a Power Ethernet over Ethernet module that would plug in here, and you'd have to solder in, and it's a buck converter, and it converts the 48 volts down to 5 volts and 3 volts. And on the other side, you have to have this expensive router that has Power Ethernet built in and all that stuff. So a lot of people are asking, like, well, why don't we have Power over Ethernet Arduino? And I think it's good to have official support for PoE, but it is complicated for a lot of people. They don't want to have to invest $100 into getting. They want to simplify the wiring for their greenhouse Ethernet Arduino monitor. So the upshot is what this does is it's like the cheap-ass version of PoE. And what it is that you have two cables, and one cable is Ethernet with a plug, and one is Ethernet with a jack. And it takes you plug in the Ethernet cable into here, and you plug this into the router, and you plug this into your power supply, and then it merges the two using the same wires that the active PoE uses into one cable, and then on the other side you have the opposite. You have the extractor, and it brings it out into, again, an Ethernet cable and a plug. And so I don't have this set up right now because we're using our router for broadcasting video, but I'll show on the product page. You can see basically it allows you to do a cheap version of injecting power over it, and it doesn't have to be 48 volts. It can be 9 volts DC, so you don't have to have a buck converter. You can even use it with 5 volts DC if you have 3 volts, and as long as it's less than like 25 meters or so, you'll have less than 1 volt drop. So this is kind of a basic solution to that problem, and I think it's kind of elegant. The only thing it doesn't work with is gigabit Ethernet. If you need to have something that uses gigabit, those extra 4 pins are used for gigabit, but nobody who really does DIY stuff does gigabit. So I think this is a pretty fair solution.
Okay, let's do some questions about this, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see if I can show both.
What does PoE stand for?
Power over Ethernet.
Okay. How many sockets?
I don't understand what that question means.
Okay. Next up, how much can that supply?
I think it can go up to like 60 volts DC, and the current supply is based on, I do have some math in the product page, it's going to be based on how much current you're drawing over the resistance of the wire. So if you're doing more than like 10 meters, you're going to want to do a little bit of math.
Okay. Next up, is it true power over Ethernet so I can power it from a switch? Or is it just a breakout for the 2 unused pairs?
It's a fake breakout. It's not true power over Ethernet because there's no intelligent enumeration, negotiation going back and forth. But the trade-off is it's $5 instead of... If you have a PoE router and you really want to do like the real thing, it's totally cool. Get like a PoE module for the Arduino Ethernet or your project. It's just that this is something simple for people who don't already have a PoE router because, again, they're not that common.
Okay. What about the funky PoE adapter for the model from Arduino? For that model from Arduino?
we decided not to carry those because at this point we think that people will be pretty satisfied with this solution. But we may carry the modules on our next order. They're little solder and socket modules. I'll grab some maybe later and see if I can find it somewhere in my box.
Someone says this reminds me of an ether killer except subtler. I don't know what that is.
I don't know if it actually would damage anything because again it's using the unused wires. But if you use both as a pair, you don't have to worry about it because the other side it splits out any power, so there's no risk of having voltage accidentally go in. If you have an Ethernet card that is expecting gigabit, then yeah, it might get a little bit confused, but I'm assuming that most of them have diode protection, so you don't have to worry about spikes.
Next up, can you use an Ethernet shield as a data logger shield?
Yeah, sure.
And if so, is there code for that?
Yes, we have tons of code for a data logger shield.
Okay. Next up, what is the DC jack size on that?
It's 2.1 millimeter. That's the same size as used on Arduino and pretty much everything else we have here.
Okay. I believe, how can I use this as a security setup?
I have no idea what you mean. So
how can I use this as? I guess because you said this was used in security.
They're used for security cameras because often IP cameras have a separate power and Ethernet, and they just want to have one cable. And so, like where you'll find these often sold, or what they're usually called, is like security camera, IP camera, power injectors.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep moving. We got a lot more stuff to show. All right. Next up, big solar panel.
Big solar panel.
We got a big solar panel.
It's not that big, it seems, but actually it's quite a bit. It's quite big.
Show it.
Yeah, it's basically a solar panel, and it's a little bit more than 3.5 watts. And this is a lot of people are trying to use 2-watt panels and wire them together, and you can do that, but you don't get really good efficiency when you start to solder panels in parallel as opposed to just getting one bigger panel. So this panel is not too big. It's 170 millimeters, which is, I don't know, some number of inches. Square, and it's got 12 cells, so it's a 6-volt panel, and on the back it's got two solder points. So it's not a fully waterproofed enclosed cell like the 2-watt cell, but it's a lot less expensive. It's a lot lighter as well. It's also not as thick. It's much thinner.
This is not a voltaic one.
This is not a voltaic panel, but it's the same efficiency as a voltaic panel. It's just bigger. I mean, Voltaic only has one panel that they use, and we really like it, but they don't have any other larger offerings at this time. So we like this panel because it's basic. But a lot of people, I think, just want to have like a panel that's already in a box or something, so it's not a really big deal. And these are really popular. And you can very easily waterproof it as well by just dunking the back in epoxy or something.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Let's keep moving. All right. You were putting all these in the store right before we finished. These are the things we showed, I think, last week. Tons of little boxes. And if you go through this journey with me of all these little boxes.
There's a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
I somewhat regret getting so many colors.
Here they are.
So I don't know. I may discontinue all the colors, but for now I did.
Okay, then these are a limited offering then.
Yeah, I don't know. I might end up only carrying like the blue ones or the green ones or something. So this is an all together box. So these are snapped together, and I have to be a little careful.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to take this apart live because I don't want to.
Yeah, why don't you take the other ones and put them together?
Oh wait, that's right. I bought a bunch of other ones. Yeah. So this is what the boxes look like, and these are the larger boxes. And the neat thing about them is that they snap together. So for example, these two snap together like that, and then you can snap this guy on as well, and you can make your own custom box. So you get as many as you want, and you put them together. And so, like, this is the one that I made for my surface mount stuff. This is from the stuff that's left over from the pick and place, and so I use it for all sorts of things. And so the nice thing is you can open individual. Where'd my tweezers go? There you go. You can open up individual boxes and pick out components, and they're really easy to use. I don't know. So I really like these boxes because. We were looking to carry boxes that were more like the, they have compartments. But the problem is that the dividers never work very well, and they don't actually come in small enough sizes for surface mount parts, in my opinion. Like this guy is holding like little diodes, and they're really teeny. Maybe I'll show it close. These little diodes. So I like having these because they're really small. They've got a clear top, so you can see what's going on inside. Let's flip this one up. Yay! They have a clear top, and yeah, they set together. And these aren't labeled because I just kind of know what they are. And then we've got all sorts of different colors, and these are the anti-static ones for chips and components. And then they get really big, like this is a really big one. And then medium, small, and then yeah, teeny. And so we have a bunch of different colors, and I don't know, I think these are really neat. So, pardon me.
Yeah, they're like I like these because they're like adult Legos. I mean, they're fun to snap together. You can make them in all sorts of different shapes. I like these a lot. These are going to be really
these
popular.
are really popular. And Kevin Townsend was saying how he got his in Tokyo.
Yes,
but we don't want to have to. This is totally like a Tokyo Akihabara type thing, like precision.
Yeah. Like
Tokyo Hands precision storage. But I really dig them, and they're not too expensive either. You can make your own custom thing for like $20. Yeah, and they have. I do want to show the leaf switch. So there's knockoff ones that are less expensive. But these have really nice. Oh, can you go to the overhead? Wait, which one's the overhead?
Yeah, the overhead is over here. Someone said, are all of them anti-static?
No, the only ones that are anti-static are the black ones. These have leaf springs, so they're not live springs, which means that these not only snap really nicely, but they'll last forever. They'll never break because it's a metal spring, not a plastic spring, which is really nice. I thought that was worth it to get the real stuff. All right, so what was the question?
That was it.
Oh, yeah. So the only anti-static ones are the black ones. Those are the only ones made out of anti-static plastic. I couldn't get them in the other sizes. They only seem to have these ones. Yeah. Snap. Snap.
All right.
Snap.
Next up,
Snap.
more tools. An awesome screwdriver set.
Yeah, these are. Oh, yeah. This is really simple. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, okay. Oh, can I see the overhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a screwdriver set, and wait, hold on. I have to take these out because it's black on black, you can't see. But these are little screwdrivers, and the thing I really like about these screwdrivers in particular is that they're not the little thin metal ones. Like we were thinking of carrying like the little, you know what I'm talking about, the thin metal ones that come in a pack, and those are really inexpensive. But you can never get a really good grip on them. Like I've had a set, I've never used it because it's just too tough to grip. I don't know why, maybe they're too thin. And I also don't like that the ends, they have a little hexagon that you would use for torque, but like it's kind of painful to use. So these are really nice. They have a really nice strong tip in all the most popular sizes, and they have a contoured plastic handle, and it's really grippy. And I actually used it for like a week or two, and I was very satisfied. And then the little torque, I don't know what the heck this is called. This is like the torque spinner, whatever, which you would use on your palm to get torque, is rounded and really comfortable. So this is really good. So I opened up a bunch of stuff.
Someone wants to know what type of quality are they? Wiha?
These are not Wihas because Wiha won't let us resell their stuff. It's a long story, but they're like, you're not big and important enough to let us resell their stuff. But they're also not as expensive as Wiha. I have a pair of Wihas, and actually these are very comparable. They're not like the full set, but I think that these are, for the price comparison, considering that they're not as expensive, they're pretty damn good. I wouldn't carry them if I didn't think that they were really good for taking apart stuff, because I like to take apart stuff. It's true.
All right.
My parents didn't like that. They were taking apart the VCR again.
Yep.
All sorts of rubbish.
Tweezers.
Okay.
Curved ones and straight ones. Here's the curved ones with a
I
chip.
just had the straight ones. Yeah.
So
I'll
which
show
one do
the
you wanna
difference
show first?
between these
Alright, we'll go to
because
the overhead. Here's
yeah.
curved and straight.
I'm gonna show the difference because they're slightly different. So these curved ones, you can see they're curved.
Couple quick things with the screwdrivers. Are they magnetic?
They're anti-magnetic.
Anti-magnetic.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
like the magnetic ones.
And will they last longer than the dollar store ones I have?
They will last a hell of a lot longer than the dollar store ones.
All right.
And they're more comfortable. I mean,
Okay.
unless you lose them. If you lose them, there's nothing you can do about it.
All right. Oh, ESD safe?
These tweezers are ESD safe.
Yeah, I guess the screwdrivers.
Screwdriver, they're plastic and metal, so
Yeah.
kind of by definition they're ESD safe.
Yeah. Okay, go back to tweezers.
I think
Tweezers.
so. Right. So these tweezers, there's curved. Some people like the curved. I like the straight. But the big difference between these two is that the jaws. Well, this is a crazy shadow from everything. The jaws are different sizes. So I will show this with the SOIC. So for example, if you have an SOIC here, this is like a 14 SOIC, it's going to be easier to pick it up with the straight tweezers because they're wider jawed, wider nosed, than these guys, which are not wide enough to pick them up lengthwise. You kind of can, but not really. You have to pick it up this wide. So what I think that these are best for is I personally think that the straight tweezers are a little more handy. But the curved tweezers are good for more precision picking up because they have smaller jaws. Are going to be a little easier to pick something up with precision, and also you can get into like weird spaces a little bit better. Those are tweezers.
Okay. Next up, foot switch.
Yeah, this one's easy also.
Yeah, we're gonna have to zoom through these.
Okay.
Go.
Well, this one's pretty simple.
All right, foot switch.
Foot switch.
It's a foot switch.
It's a switch with it's a snap switch inside. It's a snap switch inside, and actually I took this one apart, and I was gonna like show unscrewing it and everything, but now I'm just gonna take it apart really fast because I wanted to show the. Let's see if I can take this apart. Yeah, this has like a metal hinge. So inside is a big snap switch. And on the snap switch, there's just a, I don't know what it's called, actuator. And then there's a spring, which of course I'll have to figure out how to get it back. And then the switch has normally open, normally closed wire. So you have 3 different wires on the other side of the cable. So you can have it be either normally open, normally closed, and then this is
what type of contact is it? NC or no?
You can be either because there's both inside. So there's 3 wires. One is the common, one is NO, and one is NC. So,
all right.
which is kind of handy.
Okay, next up.
All right.
We got these wires. Plug into
these are
power
really
supplies. This is super handy. Make yourself a power supply.
Yeah, this is really simple. That picture is kind of good, but this is from an ATX power supply, which I've got over here.
Yeah.
And this is just like the opposite side of these power cables. Very handy if you just want to get 5 or 12 volts, high amperage, and then you can wire directly into your project. So if you're using it for like pixels or LED strip or like these RGB panels, you just need like tons of 5-volt power or even 12-volt power.
Here's a question on, I
simple.
think, the switch. How much current can it handle? Or
10 amps.
10 amps, okay. Are the wires pre-stripped for the power cable?
They're not pre-stripped. They're just cut.
No,
blunt.
what about for the power supply there? I don't know.
They come exactly like this. They're just cut flat.
Cut flat, okay.
So you can strip the wires. Takes you a second. No big
If
deal.
unloaded, do those type of supplies go into hiccup mode?
Only some of them do, but only the 12-volt line. The 5-volt line is always going to be stable.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. If there's questions about the stuff, post up in the forums if we don't have time to get to it. Next up is the keypad. All right.
Yes.
So this is keypad for. There's an Arduino project. Yeah, you do like multiple colors on the breadboard.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, it makes it easier. So this is a keypad, and it's just a matrix keypad, and it's like soft and flexible, which is kind of handy. And then it's like there is a little bit of a bump, and this one will actually remove the backing so that you can see because it has an adhesive backing. It's meant to stick onto something. But the cool thing is if you take the backing off, you can see
Look at
the contacts. It's made out of 2 flexible circuits, and then when you press them, they contact. So it's not good for like high current transfer, but for a matrix pad, it's perfectly fine.
that. And also, is it waterproof?
I actually think it is probably waterproof. I mean, I wouldn't like put it underwater, but it's going to be weather resistant. That's the term that's probably used. And then you can plug into a breadboard pretty easily.
Yeah, we're happy with these, and we think we have it at a really good price.
Yeah, they're good for stuff, and I thought it would be interesting because you could solder these around, so you could attach it to something.
You could solder these.
If you wanted to, make like a jacket or something.
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving on. The panels that we showed last week on It's Not Out Yet, Don't Ask are...
No, they were.
No,
they
we
were in
showed
the
them.
Was it out? No,
think-
they were in the store, but now we have the tutorial. Or did we release them on Monday?
No, we didn't. This is It's Not Out Yet. I'm pretty sure.
No, last week it's not out yet. Was the
It's all
Smartbox.
blurring together. All right. Question: 4x3 matrix.
That's not a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So let's. If you guys are going to ask questions, you have to ask questions.
Verbs and nouns.
Use verbs and nouns.
All right. Here it is.
Okay. Hold on.
Either way, we're showing this.
Yeah. So this is the.
You can ask about it.
Yeah. So this is the matrix, and this is just showing the demo. And yeah, it's got 16 by 32 RGB LEDs. And this is.
Oh, he meant is the keypad a 4x3 matrix?
The keypad is a 4x3 matrix.
Yeah.
That's why you saw 12 buttons. Yeah, so this is just a matrix, and I have an Arduino that's connected to it, and you can see the tutorial. The tutorial is all about how to use these, and
Yes, they are chainable.
they're chainable.
Yes, you can use an Arduino with it.
I just said there was an Arduino with it.
Yeah.
These are chainable. You can see that this is going to the input, and then there's an output. But we do not have the example code for that yet because the Arduino struggles a little bit even to drive one. So we will show eventually, no estimated time of arrival, how to chain them to display basically as much as you want. These are used in video walls.
What's the power consumption?
It's up to 1 amp.
All right. Can you add an NFC tag and change the message?
Yeah, sure.
Can I use FTDI bitbang?
No, you cannot because these do not use SPI. They are too big for that. You need to use a parallel. Yeah, I'll show. You have to use a.
Oh, let me do the bigger screen here.
You have to use a parallel input because it's a 6-bit parallel. It does not have PWM built in, but that's because it has so many pixels that you wouldn't be able to update it.
Is the Mega better for driving this than the Uno?
No, not really. It's actually the frequency that you went out of. There's not enough megahertz.
Did these come from Sure Electronics?
No, they do not come from Sure Electronics. These come from a factory that makes outdoor and indoor LED matrix displays.
Would something like an Arduino drive a chain of them easier?
I don't know. I haven't done Arduino stuff. You need to be able to bang on these pins really fast. 72 megahertz would be an improvement, but I think that Arduino doesn't have low-level pin access the same way that an Arduino does. So you have to have something where you can control the pins themselves, like the raw pins at a fast rate.
Next up, the FTDI can do 8 bits. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. Next up, are they color balanced?
They are color balanced. For example, like this is showing like red, orange, yellow, green. And I don't have it on white, but I did put it on white before, and it's not like as good as like a white LED, but it's pretty clear. It's a clean white, and the power consumption also, if you do the math, it's clear that not all the LEDs are run at full 20 milliamps because they're balanced to give them a clean white appearance. That's because it's bad enough that you have to matrix scan these displays because they're basically just a gigantic scannable matrix. You're not going to be able to color balance that as well.
Next up, can I connect this to my laptop?
You'll need to have something in between, like a Arduino or something.
Someone said ARM ideally. They said ChipKit might be good. PIC32 might be good.
Anything that has, I'd say like 50 megahertz or higher. I mean, you can drive this with an Arduino. It's connected to an Arduino right now. There's an Arduino here. But if you want to drive multiple displays and have more than 512 colors, that's when you will need a better processor.
And these are 10% off tonight.
Yes.
And we probably won't do that again. So they are $79.95, and if you use the code,
if you do the math, it's like 50 cents a pixel or something.
Yeah. So these are only going to be 10% off.
Well, it's interesting because I wanted to carry the 8x8 RGB matrices that are really popular, and like everybody has them. But the more I looked into it, I was like, okay, well, you have an 8x8 matrix, and you have to have like a driver board for it because of all these pins. And so by the time you like add it up, having a single 8x8 matrix driven by a microcontroller, it either uses tons of pins, or you have to have a custom circuit board. And then eventually I kind of looked into it, and I was like, wait a minute, I can just get like a full panel already made. And it is fun to wire up LED matrices. Don't get me wrong, I've definitely done my share of it. But if you just want to have a display, this kind of solves the problem, and they're pretty easy to drive. And I have example code for it, and you can port it to like any microcontroller, like in an hour or so. And we're going to try to get this working on the Propeller, which is another really good chip to use this because it's high speed and multi-core, so you'd have one core just doing the display.
Someone wants to know would it look good with the diffuser. Yes, I tried that out. It looks really good.
It looks really good, but then you're not going to be able to see all the details. So it's good for like if you're doing the plasma display. which I could show, but we don't ran out of time.
Yeah, let's keep moving. Okay, you want to do It's Not Out Yet, So Don't Ask?
Yeah, really quickly.
All right, we're gonna do It's Not Out Yet, So Don't Ask. Everything we show you, don't ask. It's not out yet.
Okay, so what I have here is a lot of people, when I posted about the resistor box sets that we get from DigiKey, some people are like, oh, yeah, you can get these in books, and they're like way cooler because it's like so small, you can like just store them in a book. And so we're like, okay, that's a good idea. So we found the place that makes these, and we're going to get them. And this is 0603, and this is a resistor capacitor set. So like you can have like, well, man, that totally didn't show up. So you have like 5.1 ohms and 1K, and I like that they put in like a bunch of 1Ks and then like fewer 1.2Ks because like you need a lot of 1Ks. And then I think those are a lot of 10Ks, 10K resistors. And then in the back, there's also capacitors. So all those are little picofarad capacitors, and then 0.1 microfarad capacitors, and even 1 microfarad capacitors. So, and then notes. This is really handy, and I thought this is cool because I kind of wish that when I was doing surface mount stuff that I'd had one of these booklets, because it has everything and it's really easy and compact, and you can just slide the strips out and then slide them back, and so they're nice and organized. All right, so don't ask.
Okay. Can you say hi to someone's son who's maybe tell him to be an engineer?
Hello, be an engineer.
Tim. His name's Tim.
Tim.
Son's name.
You know that mascot at MIT is named Tim.
Okay. All right. So that So that was It's Not Out Yet, So Don't Ask. Next up, general questions.
Yeah.
HJ asked a question earlier. I forget what it was, but maybe you can ask it now.
Okay. Remember to ask full questions with nouns and verbs.
Yeah. Okay. It was something about
like in reference to the noun. Can you verb the noun adjectively or adverbly?
Okay. Next up, can you make an Arduino or clones that run at 20 megahertz just by swapping the crystal?
Yep, that will work, but then your baud rate's not going to be calculated right. So you have to make sure that the code you're writing knows that the crystal has changed.
Okay. Next up, when I made an OptiBoot compatible board using the FTDI cable, I had a ton of problems where the board would drop out of the bootloader before finish uploading. Any such problems on Ethernet Uno?
No, I've never heard that problem. I don't know, maybe you did something different or weird. Again, like I use the Arduino Ethernet, and I uploaded like 10 programs and it seemed to work fine.
Okay. Someone asked a very good question because we were going to talk about this. This shirt is from Diana Eng.
This shirt's from Diana Eng.
It's a laser cut shirt.
It's laser cut, and it's really neat. Yeah, so she takes a normal t-shirt and then she dunks it in this like patented, special, super crazy material liquid to keep it from fraying, and then she laser cuts it on like her laser cutter. And so she sent me this, and I got it today, and so I was like, I'm going to wear it today. Okay. And it's very comfortable.
Will you sew a connector for the other side of the membrane keyboard, or is it solder tail?
It comes like this, and then we include this, so you can plug this in, and then you can solder to this, or you can plug it in.
Yeah. All right. For the new solar panel, are the contacts roughly in the center of the panel?
They are roughly in the center of the panel. I think they're exactly in the center of the panel.
Okay. Next up, thought you needed to recompile the Arduino bootloader to work at 20 megahertz.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you change stuff, your baud rates will all be messed up. So you just have to... I think there is a bootloader out there that runs at 20 megahertz, but you just have to tread lightly.
Okay, next up, do you use CNC for the cufflinks?
Yes, the cufflinks are CNC machined by a $1 million CNC 4-axis lathe.
Yeah, we're trying to get video of it. Next up, what would you use to make a time-sensitive music controller wireless? Does XB have too much latency? Do Bluetooth chips have a good reputation for pairing with lots of different computers?
All wireless is going to add a delay. We did calculate how much delay when we did our MIDI XB project. I think it was 20 to milliseconds or so, maybe a little bit more. But, I mean, again, if you move out of the way even a little bit, that could, retransmits and stuff, it could add up to 100 milliseconds. That's why there's not a lot of wireless music transmitters. They just have really long cables.
Next up.
Solar powered?
Yeah. What's the coolest thing we've done with the laser cutter? So I actually like laser etching matzah because I put Spock on it, and that really got people thinking about But that's just food stuff is fun.
Okay.
I mean, like
I like how you like started down this like artistic statement. Like I always tried to make a comment on that, and then you're like, "Fuck it."
It's a way to trick people to get interested in things. They're like, "I want Spock on my matzo or something."
Who doesn't?
Like, yeah, food stuff is a lot of fun because you can the sushi directions on the nori.
That was
a lot of fun.
That was cool.
So, anyways, next up. When are you going to bring out the iNecklace? The iNecklace is going to...
any day now.
It's probably going to be out next week. Here's something interesting. So with the optimized battery code that Scott did, and this battery that's in the iNecklace, which is right here, we're on more than 3 days. And it's still going strong.
Yeah.
3 days. That's
3 days.
Massive. It used to be like a couple days.
It was like 48 hours, and now it's like... it was like 48 hours, and now it's...
Yeah.
Like... 36 to 72 hours?
Yes, that was a solar panel that we held up. We do not have a 3D printer. We'll probably get a MakerBot at some point when we get time.
Yeah, we don't have
just
time.
for fun. Next up. Can we get custom glasses with a wireless video transmitter to find where you put the glasses? No.
I don't know exactly what you're asking about. There are video glasses out there, but I don't know any that do video wirelessly.
We have another hello request. Say hello to Joey.
Hi, Joe.
This is gonna. I can't wait till it's gonna like Good Morning America. We'll do the birthday section. Ethel just turned 98. Hi, Ethel, and everyone. You know, all our friends. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll do it for young engineers.
Okay.
Joey and Tim was our hellos for the night.
Okay.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, side view of the necklace. The necklace is a lot smaller than the cufflinks.
Do you want to show it on the overhead?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll show it during while you fetch the beast.
Yeah. So.
Right. You wait, and when
yeah,
we're gonna do that.
We're gonna do that in a minute. Okay. Next up, this is gonna be like the last question.
One last question.
Are you ever going to sell a 3D printer? No, that's not.
We're not in the 3D printer selling business, but many of our friends are, and we suggest you do business with them.
Yeah. It's a whole other industry that people are doing a great job with.
We have plenty of stuff that we have to take care of.
Yeah, I did like the Lego project that was on Make, and it'll be on Adafruit I think tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's a Lego project, everything in Lego except for a drill bit, and that cuts out the floral foam. And
it's cool.
I mistakenly said that these little things were like Legos for adults. I don't mean that. Legos are for adults. A lot of projects that you see now. Legos are for everybody. I only meant that because there's little tiny SMD parts. I was playing around with tiny LEDs today, and they're so tiny. Like you could.
They're actually not that tiny. They were only 0805s. They were really not that small.
They're tiny though. They're like.
Wait till I fetch the 0402s or the 0201s.
Most things I eat are bigger than. I mean, like anything that you can just swallow, I think is a tiny thing. So
pollen.
that's what I was thinking. Like this is bad for like little tiny kids. Anyways.
Okay.
Let's do the trivia question. Trivia test time.
It's that time. What's the prize?
No, you tell me what the prize is.
The prize
What's the prize?
is a gigantic LED panel.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
You get one of these panels.
This is a big
We
deal.
have a lot of these, and we want people to do cool stuff with them. Make video walls.
So this is going to be a.
I tell the rules.
This is going to. Yeah, did you do the rules?
No.
Okay, I'm out of it.
Rules are. Rules are: if you're a friend, you can enter this contest and come over. We'll give you a panel because you're a friend. And if you've won the contest before, even if you want the panel, please let somebody else win. We'll have more fun prizes in the future, etc. Whoever we think is the first person whoever we see with the correct answer first, with spelling and all that other nonsense, is the winner of this fabulous prize.
Yeah.
Tell them the contest question.
Okay, here it is. It's going to be a video contest question, and here's what you have to do. And I'm going to be really specific.
Look at the video.
You have to say what this is.
What it is.
And you have to spell the last name of the person who is known for inventing it. What is this? And the last name of the person who invented it.
It's not a washing machine. And everyone's like, it's a washing machine.
It's a very specific type of pump. And what's the last name of the person who invented it? Okay.
If you're a Thingiverse fan, you'll know what this
Some
is.
folks got half of it, but it's a specific type of pump.
And the last name of the inventor.
And the last name of the inventor. I'll start giving more hints. So someone got the first part. You got to do the second part.
This is used for soup.
It's used for soup, and it's used
blood.
for kidney dialysis.
And blood.
So the name of the pump and
drink bots.
And the person who invented it. You folks are close, getting half of it. There's debate about who invented it, but pretty much there's one person who's known for inventing it. Okay. Wait. Oh, someone's really close. You need the right spelling. Okay, JG1000. It's the peristaltic pump, and Murray is the name.
He lived in New York City.
Yeah. So.
And New Jersey.
All
We'll
right.
forgive him for that.
Okay, a few people have heard of Jerome Murray. He was born August 20th, 1912. He was born in New York City, and he died January 7th, 1998. He moved out to New Jersey. He's a really well-known inventor. This device is the peristaltic pump. It's a very simple device. Fluids are moved by the means of positive displacement, allowing for gentle flow of materials from one point to another.
So the pump actually, what's nice about it is it's in a, the material is in a soft fluid, soft tubing, and so the pump itself and all the oily, greasy parts of it never actually touch the material, so it's totally hygienic. So that's why it's used for like blood and plasma and liquids and food and drink bots.
Yeah, and this is how fluids are moved down the intestinal tract for folks who notice that.
Wait, I have one of those in my
You do.
gut.
He did not invent that, though. The peristaltic pump made open-heart surgery and kidney dialysis possible, and has provided the ability to manufacture soup without damaging vegetables in the soup.
And that's how we have chunky soup today.
Yeah. All right.
I like the soup.
Some people are quoting someone else, Dr. Michael DeBacke. There's debate about who did this, but this is pretty much his patented invention, so we're kind of going with this. Yeah.
Look, it's like just a video question. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You can go to Wikipedia and debate it if you want.
Yeah. All right. So.
How about I show the necklace?
Yeah. Why don't you get the necklace going?
And I'll show this, and then you can go. Yeah, because we finally got all the parts in. There were a few delays because everyone was on vacation. So the nice thing about this is it's much thinner than the cufflinks. We got the machining of the face and such down a little bit, so it sits very nicely. And then the back uses this coin sort of notch thing, and then you can open it using the end of my tweezers.
Oh crap! We're actually running out of time.
Yeah, go get the cat. I don't know what you're hanging out here for.
5 minutes late.
And then here's all the parts. So then you've got that diffuser plastic, and we've got the same circuit board as before, and then small coin cell. This is like we showed before. This is a CR1220. So that was our Part Finder Friday, and these are these little coin cells. And then
All right.
you put this back.
Where's Cat?
Yeah, I don't know. You're hanging out here. You like forgot about the cat or something? What?
Yeah. All right. There he is. Can you place a cufflink next to it for scale? We don't have.
What, the cat? Here, this cat.
No.
This is how big the cat is, and this is the cufflink. The
Yeah.
necklace. Lost it. Gaze upon it. Gaze upon it.
Yeah.
Look.
He likes it.
This is your birthright.
He
We're going to
likes
put this
it.
on a collar
Okay.
on the cat.
Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, George, for recording. We'll be here next week with our 2-year anniversary show. And here is your moment of Zener.